The Community Television Consortium of Stark County presents this week's edition of What's Happening, the show about you, the people of Stark County. And now your host, Natalie Gelfo.
Hello, I'm Natalie Galfone, filling in for Susie Vitale. Today is a special edition for the 1996 Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival. Right now I have with me Manny Paradises. Welcome.
Hi.
And I just wanted to know who makes up the drum corps and about what age groups are they?
Well, a drum corps is comprised of about 128 marching young people, along with some 25 or 30 other people that comprise the staff for the corps, the teaching staff. They carry their own or bring along their own kitchen unit, and these probably average around 150 odd young people and adults that come into town, and we're having 7 corps come into town this year, 5 of which are corps that finished in the top 10 in last year's World Championship in Boston. And of those 7, we have the World Champion Corps coming into town, which is the Cavaliers from Rosemont, Illinois. Okay. And the number 2 Corps, the Corps that finished number 2 last year there, which is the Cadets of Bergen County, New Jersey. Plus, of course, we have the Blue Coats, and the Blue Coats finished 4th last year in the World Championships. So we have some very, very strong corps coming into town this year. Their average age of the young people, I'm not sure I answered that for you, probably about 19 years old.
Okay. Now, where and when will they be playing during Hall of Fame week?
Well, they will be in on the 31st of July, which is actually after the football game, but we get the corps at the discretion of Drum Corps International, which is the worldwide organization that governs drum corps. And a good part of that depends on their schedule for the World Championships, which this year are going to be August 7 through 12 down in Orlando. Mm-hmm. So they back everything up from there, and we like to get the corps in here as close as we can to Pro Football Hall of Fame week. This year we're getting them July 31st. Okay. 7:30 step-off time at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon.
Okay. Now, what's the difference between a drum corps and a marching band?
Well, one that we mentioned earlier, the average age of the young people, and they're because of that age, they have a little more experience, musical experience, if you will, because a good many of them not only march in high school bands, but college bands as well. And they actually audition for the corps that they march in, and all these corps will have people from within their own area of the country and from outside of the area of their country, or maybe even outside of the country. They're young people that come from Europe and Japan to march in drum corps here in the United States. And so there's a lot of talent, if you will, musical talent in each of these drum corps. They even pay to belong to a drum corps.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, do you want to explain the different parts of the drum corps?
Different parts in the sense that they have they're a marching unit that play instruments, i.e. the drums, the percussions, the trombones, and the trumpets and all. And then there are the what I call the dance units of a drum corps, the young people that do the flags and the choreography routines of the drum corps, and they're all judged for their own particular specialties. There are probably about 6 or 7 judges on the field during the drum corps competition, and those of you that come to, or those of your listeners and viewers that come to the show will see these judges are running in and out of the cores there. Sometimes one wonders if they're going to have a collision down there, and maybe sometimes they do, but they're in there, watching for if they're judging the dance steps and the choreography. That's what they're watching. If they're watching the drummers, they're watching the drummers, and the trumpet players, the trumpet players. So it's a very fast-paced show. Each show is about 17 minutes, or each performance is about 17 minutes of time, and they're also judged with respect to how they maintain their time level. If they run over, they take points off of them. If they run short, I think they take points off of them. So it's a real fast-paced thing.
Great. Now, one more time. Now, where are they going to be and when?
They'll be at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon, July 31st, which is a Wednesday night. It's a great family show, so people should bring the kids out. This year, our ticket prices for reserve seats range from $10 to $18, and we're doing something a little bit different this year. We're even offering tickets in the end zone, in one of the end zones, for $5 for some people that may not feel like they want to have their first experience at a $10 or $18 level. They can come in and sit in the end zone and get a very good taste of drum corps.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Manny, and we'll be right back with Jim Bellamy. Thanks. Welcome back. I'm with Jim Bellamy, the Grand Parade chairperson. So welcome.
Thank you, Natalie.
What were your goals for this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame Parade?
I think the number one goal this year was to try to bring some newness to the parade, bring in as many new units as we possibly could. My goal personally was to change 25% of the parade with new units.
That's a lot. Now, what's the philosophy behind the Grand Parade?
Well, the Grand Parade's number one philosophy is basically the parade is the road to the enshrinement. The key is to present our community in the best possible light to a national audience, and to make that road or that ride for the enshrinees themselves a very special moment in their life.
Okay. Now, how many units will you have in the parade this year?
This year we're going to have approximately between 120 and 130 units.
Okay. Now, what will the ticket prices be, and where can people find them?
The tickets are available at the Canton Regional Chamber of Commerce, which is located on Wells Avenue, Northwest in downtown Canton. The ticket prices for bleachers and seats are $5.50. There are still some tickets available. If they would like to call the chamber, the number is 456-7253, or they can just stop by the chamber during normal business hours and purchase their tickets.
Okay. Now, this is quite a big job. Now, when do you start planning for this?
The committee starts meeting. We have a critique meeting, which is the last meeting of the current year, sometime in August and September. We actually start the planning for the next year's festival and the Grand Parade in anywhere from September to October.
Now, how many people are on your committee?
On the Grand Parade committee, there's 44 people actually that sit on the committee.
Okay. Now, what do you have planned different than this year than you have in the past parades?
Well, one of the major things, we've expanded the helium balloons. It seems like the kids and adults alike both truly enjoy the large helium balloons. So we brought in a brand new balloon contractor this year. Most of the balloons that are going to be here have never been here before, and we've changed it. Instead of having 6 helium balloons, we've expanded it to 8.
Oh, great. Great.
So it should be a lot of fun.
Okay, still the antique cars and a lot of the same old things that we always enjoy.
Yeah, the parade is comprised of approximately between 25 and 30 bands, between 20 and 25 floats, probably 30 different specialty units, which are, like for example, this year we're bringing in the Fred Hill briefcase drill team, and it's actually a marching unit that utilizes briefcases and business suits instead of rifles or musical instruments. So they should be very entertaining.
Very. Now, what kind of awards are going to be given this year for floats?
Basically, the float awards, there's between 10 and 15 float awards, and basically it ranges choose from. The top award is the non-professional type building award, which a lot of companies shoot for, and it actually is it's a company-sponsored float, but the employees within the company or the members of the organization actually build the float, design it, and create it, and it's a lot of fun. And when you see as much work as the people put into these floats, it's just amazing that that they have this much support from the community and their companies.
Okay, now what kind of sponsorship do you have behind the parade?
We have a wide range of sponsorships. We have the helium balloon sponsors, where a company can actually rent the balloon, so to speak, and allow their employees to participate. There's sponsorships for like the Fred Hill drill team, briefcase team. They're sponsored by an area bank. So there's many different opportunities. And we actually have, since our parade is televised nationally, we actually have television sponsors too at that time.
Oh, great. Okay. So. Now, do you handle bringing in outside celebrities into town?
That's a separate committee that actually handles that, but it is one of the most unique committees, and it's a lot of fun because we never know until the last moment which celebrities we're going to have in town. But generally, it's a wide range from different backgrounds, and we have anywhere from 3 to 6 celebrities in any given year.
Now, is the parade route going to change at all this year, or you want to tell everyone where the parade route is going?
The parade route starts at about 6th Street Southwest in Canton and goes north to about 25th Street on Cleveland Avenue.
Okay.
And step off for the parade at 7:30 in the morning.
Okay. Also, would you like to tell us the number for the chamber again and where people can get tickets?
Sure. The number is 456-7253. They can either call and reserve their tickets, or they can just stop by the chamber Monday through Friday during normal business hours, and the chamber is located on Wells Avenue, northwest in Canton.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jim, and we'll be right back. Okay. Welcome back. Right now I have with me Deanne Shantz, and she is the chairperson for the Fashion Show Luncheon. Now, this is definitely a hot ticket for the Hall of Fame week. Now, how many people are you expecting?
We have about 4,000 that come. When we first started out in 1963, there were 300.
Wow.
And it took place at the Onesta Hotel, which we've come a long way in that length of time.
Yes, very much so. Now, that's a lot of people, so how do you organize all these people?
Well, actually, there are 10 different rooms that they're in the Cultural Center and in the Civic Center. And as the outer rooms in the Cultural Center are finished with their lunch, they are brought in to the perimeter seating, and we'll have very excellent viewing to see the show because they're above the show and they're looking down, and they can see everything that's going on on the runway. Okay. So it's wonderful for them, and they come in.
Great. Now, what fashions are in season this year?
Well, one of the looks we're going to have is the military look, which is going to be the most different look for this fall, which is what we show. We show the fall clothes. The color is a purple haze, which last year, I don't know, the ones that were there last year, they would remember that it was red, but no, it's changed as usual.
As always.
And lots of velvet.
Oh, great.
Yes, lots of velvet. And us ladies, we like that.
Now, who supplies the clothes for the show?
Well, it's a lot of the stores are from Canton. There's one from Akron and one from Alliance. And one from Minerva. So it's local Canton stores and in the surrounding area. Okay.
Now, why don't you mention who your sponsors are?
Well, this year we have a centerpiece sponsor, and it's Altman Hospital. They've been nice to give us a nice sponsorship, so we could do that. And then we also have a favor sponsor and entertainment combined, and that's Acme Food Center. And then the grand prize, which is a Rolex watch, is Gosser & Son. So wonderful. We're very, very grateful to them.
Now, where and when will the Fashion Luncheon take place?
Well, it takes place at the Civic Center, and it's on Friday, the 26th. And the doors open at 11:30, and the lunch starts promptly at Well, it starts in different rooms at different times, so I better not say it starts at 12 because that's not really actually what it is.
Okay. Now, if people want information, are there extra tickets available?
There are some extra tickets, and then if they'll watch the newspaper, the Chamber has a special day where they come and they have the tickets that are for all the events, actually. They can come and get them at the Chamber.
Okay. So just keep an eye out in the paper and that'll
Yes.
give them all the information?
That'll.
Okay. Now, how many people are on your committee?
I have about 30 on my committee, working committee.
Okay.
And then by the time we're finished with all the other volunteers that we have about 130.
Oh, wonderful. Now, what are some of the different subcommittees?
Well, you have the models committee and the store committee and the photo shoot, the favor, the centerpieces, the decorations.
Great.
Trying to think.
Now, are you bringing in choreographers from out of town?
Yes,
or?
yes.
Okay.
We have Event Network up in Cleveland.
Okay.
And they do the choreography. And there's John Carlo, Frankie, who does the choreography for the dancers.
Oh, wonderful.
And he also did the set this year, which we're very interested
Great.
in having.
Do you have a theme
ladies
this
see.
year?
Yes, our theme is imagination.
Oh, great.
So we hope to spark the imagination of all the gals. And one of the fun things we're having at the beginning, while the ladies are coming in, there'll be some mimes and some street entertainment.
Oh, great.
Street performers that will be there to keep them entertained while they stand there.
Thanks, Deanne, and we'll be right back. With me now, Don Sulzbach, and he is chairperson for the Enshrinees Civic Dinner. Now, how long have you been involved with the Hall of Fame festivities?
Hall of Fame, really, I guess, as a lot of volunteers go, probably a relatively short period of time. I've been involved, I guess, for about 7 years, and we are fairly new to the community. We moved here about 8 years ago.
Okay.
And so I've been involved since that time. And one of my objectives was to get involved in the community in something that was worthwhile and would get me acquainted with various people and so forth. And so that's what I've done. So it was a good move for me.
Yeah, you got involved fairly quickly.
Right.
What other committees have you served on?
As far as the Hall of Fame is concerned, just the Ribs Burnoff Committee.
Oh, great.
Just for 1 year.
Great.
And that was primarily through Rotary. I was responsible for getting security people that secure the area. And so that's how I got involved in that.
Great. Now, how does your committee function to get all these projects done that you need to get done?
It's a good question, and it's an interesting one. I suppose very similar to the way other committees function. We have subcommittees. For instance, we have a number of projects that need to get done, and the committee, the subcommittee then spearheads that. For instance, we have favors that we need to decide upon.
Great.
We have a favors subcommittee that brings favor possibilities to the committee, and then those are decided upon by the committee. We have centerpieces, or the floral arrangement, the flowers. We have escorts that need to escort the enshrinees from room to room. We have just a number of subcommittees like that function pretty much on their own and then bring their recommendations to the committee. Hostesses, for instance, is another major subcommittee whereby all the hostesses are volunteers are selected and the dresses are measured, etc.
Oh, great. Now, about how many people are on your committee then?
I think they're close to, I think there are somewhere around 18 on the committee. And a number of those people have served very faithfully and very well for quite some time, and certainly this year was no exception.
Great. Now, why don't you mention who our 1996 Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinees are? I'll just make...
Okay, the enshrinees are Lou Creekmer, certainly is the one that represents kind of the, goes back the furthest, if you will. Then there is Mel Renfro, of course Dan Deerdorf, Charlie Joyner, and Joe Gibbs.
Great.
So that's the 5.
Great. Now, what makes the dinner so special?
Gee, I think there are a lot of things. I think it's the dinner is a way to really certainly recognize the enshrinees in a very special way. They've been through the day. They've gotten their jackets at the breakfast. They've been to the luncheon. This is the dinner sort of climaxes that day. Very special from the standpoint that there are a number of NFL dignitaries that are there. There are a number of celebrities that are there. There are about 4,000 people there to greet them and to cheer them on and to recognize them. It's a very special way that we can honor them for their past achievements.
Great. Now, are there tickets available for the public, or is this by invite only?
There are tickets available for the public. However, I think generally speaking, they're pretty well sold out.
Right.
My understanding is that there may be a few tickets that become available later on, but for most intents and purposes, they're pretty well sold out.
Okay. Now, you were saying that there were hostesses to escort the enshrinees from room to room. Now, what are those rooms?
Those are rooms that are scattered throughout. There are about 9 different rooms that the people eat in, and then the escorts are escort the enshrinee. Okay. It's kind of a ceremonial effect. There is a trumpeter that announces the arrival of the enshrinees. Each room has a room host, and the room host then introduces individually each enshrinee with a little past history, and of course everyone stands and applauds, and the enshrinees then go through the room and are recognized by the people, and then go to the next room, and then end up, of course, in the main room.
Wonderful. That sounds great. Now, where and when will this dinner take place?
It's July 26th. The cocktail hour begins at 5:30.
Okay.
Some very special entertainment at the cocktail hour, by the way. I think, as a matter of fact, I wanted to mention that the whole dinner pretty much has a local flavor that makes it pretty unique, I think, for this year. Okay. For instance, at the cocktail hour beginning at 5:30, we have the Bourbon Street Royales, which is a jazz group. And then the dinner follows at 6:30. During the dinner, we have John Trapani, who is a local individual, with his 6 individuals that are going to be playing.
Thanks, Don. We'll be right back with Tom Lokshin. Guest is Tom Lokshin, our Ribs Burn-Off Committee Chairperson. Now, how many vendors are we going to have this year?
We're going to have 25 rib vendors vying for 4 awards. First, second, and third place have prize money and a People's Choice Award.
Okay, great.
We'll also have 17 specialty vendors with all kinds of other foods for everyone who wants to come down and get a variety other than ribs.
Great, great. Now, when will the judging take place for the ribs?
The judging takes place Wednesday and Thursday from 1 to 3 p.m. And we'll have about 60 to 70 judges. So we have a very fair type of judging, and the judging awards are presented Thursday about 5:15 at the South Stage.
Okay, great. I thought it was interesting you were telling me about the People's Choice Award. How is that decided?
We have a committee that sends people out into the crowd to take a survey and they vote that way. And then we tabulate those, and we get a good cross-section of how people feel throughout the event over those 2 days.
Great. The entertainment is always a highlight, besides the ribs, for the Ribs Burn-Off. Now, who will be playing this year?
Well, our headliner Wednesday night, North Stage, is Sammy Kershaw, who's a big country music star, and he's sponsored by K105 and Ameritech, and Thursday night North Stage, we're also very excited because we're going to have Eddie Money performing live.
Right.
And he's sponsored also by Ameritech and by HBC FM.
Wonderful. What do you have new for this year that's different than the past?
We have a specialty beer booth. In addition to all our draft beers, we have a specialty beer area with microbrewery type beers, and we have some other fun things planned, like we're going to have steel drum music and a little tropical sounds down at the South Stage at lunchtime Wednesday. Give out some sunglasses and some Hawaiian ways, so come on down and have some fun. And Thursday, before the judging awards are presented, we're going to have a little party there and give some prizes away and have some fun then too.
Great. What do you have in store for the children?
We have a lot of entertainment for children, especially in the afternoon. We really like to get families down between 11 and 6 o'clock. We have kiddie rides for small children. We have free face painting that's sponsored by Walsh University, and magicians, clowns, jugglers, organ grinder and monkey, just all kinds of fun things for the whole family to come down and enjoy some food and free entertainment.
Great. Now how many volunteers do you have on your particular committee?
We have about 60 volunteers on my committee, and then we'll use about 800 volunteers over the 2 days at the event to help run the event for us.
Who compromises those 800 people when it comes down to the day that the fair or the burn-off goes on?
Who are they? They're mainly made up of volunteers from Rotary Club of Canton, Canton JCs, Our Lady of Peace, and Canton Central Catholic.
Okay.
And then there's some other volunteers from some area banks and a lot of businesses that let people donate their time down there.
Great.
So without all the volunteers, we wouldn't be able to put on such a great event.
How many years have you been involved with the Hall of Fame?
I've been involved for about 11 years on the Ribs Burn-Off Committee, and this is my second year as chairman.
Oh, great.
And I'll guarantee you this is going to be the best time ever. We are going to have a great time, and I hope everybody in the community comes down.
Wonderful. Now, how with security, I've just noticed over the past few years it's gotten better. It's definitely become a safer place to go. How do they keep crowd control?
Well, actually, in the last 10 years or since the burn-off has started, we really haven't had any major problems, and actually very few problems at all. We work very closely with the Canton Police Department that provides very good security throughout the event and around the perimeter. And between that and our committee, we do a very good job at that. So people should feel comfortable. They can come downtown, come to this event, have a good time, and not have any problems.
Great. Now, where and when will the Ribs Burn-Off be taking place?
It's July 24th and 25th, downtown Canton. We cover from Tuscarawas Street all the way north to 6th Street by the Palace Theater, and have continuous live entertainment at the South Stage both days, which is at the North Plaza building. And then in each evening, our headlining entertainment up at the north and up at 5th and Market Avenue.
Okay, will fireworks still be taking place this year?
Absolutely. The fireworks, they have their own stage a couple blocks north of there at 8th and Market, and the fireworks go off at 10 o'clock or close to 10 Thursday night. So we're expecting a big crowd to come down, have some food and some free entertainment, and watch the fireworks. It's going to be terrific.
Tom, would you like to give us a phone number in case anybody wants any information regarding the burn-off or other events happening during the Hall of Fame week?
Sure. They can call the festival office at the Canton Regional Chamber of Commerce, 456-7253.
Great. Tom, good luck to you, and to our other committee chair people, good luck. We wish you all the well, and we'll have a happy and safe 1996 Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival.